the fuss. Better pack your lunch if you think you're messing with us. Menace, yeah!
Make it publicly clear.
It is 3/16/2026. Menace to Yinz back in the building. It's your boy Big G out here being diabolical in the Steelers streets, ready to do some news, some reporting, and all that old fun stuff that we do on here on the KnoItallz Podcast channel. Listen, if you've not subscribed, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Follow the podcast, Menace to Yinz. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Facebook. Here in a minute, you'll be able to find it on Rumble and all the different social media platforms. Make sure you listen up for it. And if you have not become a member of the KnoItallz Podcast channel, memberships are wide open. We have people supporting us left and right, buying memberships, purchasing memberships, special emojis, all the different things that go along with becoming a subscriber, not just a member for the KnoItallz Podcast channel. But if you haven't hit that subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe because we are growing fast out here. We are drastically approaching 2.0 subs, 2.0K subs, and we can't do it without you guys. So, y'all, I'm back with another episode, but I got to do it one more time around the bend. Let me bring my special guest in here, the triple OG Shannon White, back in the building with Big G one more time around the bend from Menace to Yinz, man. Shannon, what's up with you, man? Back in the building, back-to-back weeks with me and Shannon. What's cracking, Shannon? What's happening with you, man?
No, it's a pleasure. I've been following your stuff, and we've been staying in contact and getting excited about the upcoming season, and the free agencies went well, and the draft's right around the corner. So, yeah, I'm getting excited again.
Man, it's Shannon. It just seemed like the season just ended,
Yep.
and we're about a month away from the draft. So it's jumping already, man. Listen, and I want to say what's up to all the people in the live chat. Howie 616, what's up? Reginald Rivers, man, what's lacking with you? Juice Bellamy, man. Danielle Hall, man, what's up, man? Big B's hairdresser. Oh, Lord. That's somebody diabolical. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. Juice Bellamy, Mean Joe Green. Kenneth McNair, what's happening? Christine Black and Gold. Girl, what's going on with you? Who is that? Gregon Styles, what's up with you, man? Good to see you. Yolanda, girl, what's going on, man? Great to have all you guys. If you haven't dropped a comment in the live chat comments, make sure you drop a comment. Super chats are wide open. So if you want to get your rant, comment, or whatever you got to say, all you got to do is drop a super chat. Guaranteed to go up on the screen. And memberships are wide open too. Yeah, facts. So memberships are wide open as well, man. Shannon, we going to get to it, man. A serious conversation today about our Pittsburgh Steelers. Shannon, Omar Khan out there driving the mystery machine. Looking like old Fred, bruh. Turning the block with Scooby-Doo right now, trying to figure out what the mystery is and how to solve the mystery for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shannon, things are going good. Now, that's why we got to give Omar Khan a little bit of credit because he's done solved a few mysteries at certain positions. But right now, bro, we got some missing agreements. So I want to get your missing ingredients of what needs to happen right away for the Pittsburgh Steelers to make the 2026 a season to remember, man.
Yeah, they were widely reported with the things that's happened thus far in free agency that, we talked a lot about Kevin Colbert, who we have deep respect for, and he will always be, on the Mount Rushmore of Steelers. But again, there was two sides to his tenure. There was the initial championship side, and then there was the latter half. And his final draft, there is none of the Steelers left. They're all gone. They're all history. One of the reasons the Steelers are where they are now. And we know that the coordinators, the coaching staff, and the GMs, it all matters it don't matter how good your coach is.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that the hard way having Mike Tomlin because he never had the right GM for a while. Then he didn't have the right talent because of that, nor did he ever have the right coordinators and coaches. So that's why I'm excited about where they are right now, because they actually finally have an up-to-date modern front office with the proper GMs. They have the proper scouting department, I believe, and I'm excited about the new coaching staff. It wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah,
it wasn't who I wanted, but the coordinators I've been very happy with. All the positional coaches, and I've seen a change in philosophy, even here in free agency. So they have filled a lot of needs that I'm saying they're no longer needs, but they're not desperate. They're no longer, they've been addressed. And now you can truly have a draft, which we've talked forever about having BPA, best player available, but you can't do it when you have a huge hole. And teams know this. And so the Steelers can really honestly go into this because, as we talked earlier today, there is no quarterback that I see presently that you're going to be like, okay, you're going all in. This is going to be the next possible franchise guy for the next 10 years. We don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
We don't know what Howard can develop into. We don't know if there will be a trade or if they draft a guy in the mid-round or even as early as the third. But I'm just saying that right now, whether they want to use the word or not, they're rebuilding this roster to become a championship contending unit.
Facts.
And they have the picks to do it. They have the picks to move around in the draft. They have the wherewithal now, finally, with Khan and Waddle to accumulate picks for next year. When you're going to take your shot, maybe if everything goes according to plan. For me, when we talked earlier, I see, me and you both agreed left side of the line. Both tackle,
that's numero uno, Shannon. Numero uno.
Tackle and guard has to be addressed. More so guard, in my opinion, with Ciamalo leaving. But also, it could be a top inside backer. It could be a top safety.
Yeah.
And of course, we know wide receiver's still there. So there's so many ways they could go, and there's not desperation. And I like that. I like the unknown. And I know we're going to discuss on some of these guys we think they should target.
Yeah. Shannon, you are absolutely correct by calling out the positions. Listen, left guard, left tackle, wide receiver, middle linebacker, safety. It's almost some still glaring holes while Fred out there driving the mystery machine. But we're going to start calling Omar Khan, Fred himself. Fred out there driving the mystery machine, trying to solidify the roster. So we know we've narrowed down our scope of what the Steelers are going to be looking at for the 2026 draft, because free agency is never really over, but we've definitely went past the midway point, right? This is like tier 3 of players that can actually be signed for the Steelers. There's still maybe a tackle out there. I like Taylor Decker on a 1-year deal if we're going to bring him in. But to me, there's not a guard that's even worth it. So, I feel that. I feel that, guard. I feel that, Mr. Styles. Trade for Trent Williams, but that's going to cost us something. And there's a 1-year rental that's going to cost a lot of money. So I feel it, but I think we got to do something different. Christine says, I lost part of my fist last night. Went from 80 and tornadoes to snow and went around 15 degrees. That's how it is right here in Ohio. It's diabolical.
Yeah, we got about an inch. Yeah.
It's snowing. It's snowing right now when I came down in the basement.
And I hate that stuff.
Yeah, it's that time of year, Shannon. It's that time of year. But Shannon, the big thing, man, is that what do you think? I'm going to ask you this first, and then we're going to work backwards. What do you think the Steelers should actually do at pick 21? I want to get your insight of what you're saying. What do we need to do at pick 21 as of today, as of 3/16/2026? What do we need to do?
I guess I'm still on the same page as me and you were even last time. And last time we spoke, I've been working on saying the name correctly. But if you stay at 21, and we always say Vega, but Ioane is how I think you say it, but Vega.
Yes,
when you look at his fit in the culture, in this offense, I know you've been on him for at least a couple of weeks, really pushing.
Yeah. I've been pushing hard for a month, Shannon. I've been pushing hard.
My two things is, there's guys I like at the receiver, which I've talked about, but Vega or Thiedemann, the safety out of Oregon. Here's why. Everybody, we got to remember, last year I was really high on him in Ure.
Yeah, Nicky in New York. Yeah.
I mean, he went to Seattle. Guess who won the Super Bowl? And guess
Seattle.
who was integral
Seattle.
in that defense, because he could play slot, he could play linebacker, he could play safety. He was so versatile, and they used him as such. Now, the Steelers already have Ramsey, and they brought in Brisker, and they're going to have Elliott, good Lord willing, healthy. If you added a guy like that into that, and we know that Graham is much more creative and has done a lot more with less than Austin ever did.
Facts.
If you get the right guy and add him to this defense, now that you got Dean and Porter on the outside, my goodness, that is a quick, massive upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, right there. I mean, because you can use that young man in a multitude of ways. And also, and that would actually help, because, he struggles if you say you put him in slot, to cover tight ends. He struggles with that size. We know Ramsey can handle that. And the young man needs to put on about 10 pounds. He'll do that, 10 pounds of muscle easy once he gets in a professional setting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is guys that, to me, you're looking at Vega or you're looking at Thiedemann.
Yeah. Big B's hairdresser, that's diabolical. He said it's hard to find a quality green dot backer than a blue chip left guard. So premium green dot all the way in. It's a no-brainer. Big B's hairdresser, I get that. But there's one guy that's at the top of the MLB middle linebacker that is worth chasing. That's Sonny Styles from Ohio State.
He's going to be long gone.
That's the next guy down is Anthony Hill Jr. The next guy down from there is Rodriguez. The next guy down from there is Trotter. There's not that much of a drop between Hill Jr. and Trotter. There's not that much of a drop.
I agree.
Those guys are so why would you spend capital to go chase a guy when those three guys are in the middle? And I think that one of those three are going to be available at pick 53.
It would cost too much. You'd have to move up around 10. And he might be gone before that, but you'd have to move up around the top 10 to get – it's just too much, I think.
Yeah, so, I get it. I get it. Big E Bronco, what's up, bro? Great to see you. He said, until that quarterback you find, your next franchise guy, you guys are going to be in limbo. We totally understand that. Yeah. And we've been perfectly clear. But this is not the year that we're going to solve that. And so I'll sidebar for a second. I've been saying it for a minute. Shannon's been saying it for a minute, right? And now the Pittsburgh Steelers have publicly said it. They have said that they're okay with plan B by allowing Will Howard to develop it to the quarterback. They've publicly said that, right? So if Rodgers or Driftwood don't come back, then the plan is they're going with Will Howard, right? I don't know if that'll stop them from drafting a quarterback in this draft. I don't know.
I think they're going to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me be perfectly clear with you guys on this too. If they draft a quarterback from the third round, that kid is going to get a shot to oversee Will Howard at the starting quarterback. There's no way they're not going to do that. If they take a third-round investment and they draft a quarterback, the third-round investment will get a full opportunity to fight Will Howard as starting quarterback. Don't you think, Shannon? Don't you think?
Oh, I agree totally. And here's the thing. In my opinion, if you don't have a franchise guy, if you don't have a guy that is clear-cut, you're number one, you don't have one. You have three.
Yeah.
However many you got on roster, you have three.
Facts.
So in my opinion, and I think they ought to do this with more than just that position. I think you have an open competition. You do not go into camp saying, okay, you have your tentative, temporary pecking order, but you let them compete. And who actually wins it, wins it. Because at least you have that, clear-cut number one. Then you let Howard compete with Alar. You let him compete with whoever they bring in. If you bring in a free agent or, a trade for somebody, you let them compete, whether Rodgers comes or not. Because Rodgers might show up and Howard just outplays him all preseason. Should it be Howard who has more, immediate potential for the near future? I mean, if Rodgers, he's not making them a Super Bowl contender, and the way things sit right now, it's more familiarity, in my opinion. The only reason they're bringing him back if they do.
Facts. Remix 808, man. Thank you for the comment, man. He said any quarterback they draft will get a shot. Howard is the 6th rounder. I hate to tell y'all, because listen, Shannon, we've already talked about this too. Will Howard has the largest cult following I have ever seen for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, we saw Duck Hodges that was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
We saw Cordell Stewart that was unbelievable. Cult following for quarterback. I've never seen anything like Will Howard. I've never, ever, ever seen the cult following that Will Howard has as far as people saying, I want this guy to be the starting quarterback who's done absolutely nothing, Shannon. Absolutely nothing. So now he did it at the collegiate level. He played 1 year at Ohio State and won a national championship. But people forget about how he looked at Kansas State before he came to Ohio State. And let me be clear about this too, Shannon. I think you'll agree. You look great when you're playing with Cardinal Tate, Emeka Buka, and Jeremiah Smith, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson. Yeah. For y'all that don't understand and know, that's 5 players that were picked in the first 35 picks in 2 drafts. And Cardinal Tate's going in the top 10 this year. So you're going to, when you got first rounders all around you, you're going to look super great. Do you agree, Shannon?
Oh, yeah. That's the way he felt. Because nobody really knows, was it the surrounding supporting cast or was it him? Nobody really knows. Now, I mean, you've seen evidence of both, that it could be both, but that's why the preseason and the injury hurt so bad, because you really needed to have more, experience and seen more going into this season, but the injury just, it just destroyed that timeline. But nobody knows really, but you see a guy who you can say the opposite is true. Let's say Drew Aller didn't have the talent around him the last year, and then he didn't look as good. And, maybe that held him back. Whereas it might have made Howard look, better than what, that's what a lot of people are judging Will Howard on. We have to, because we haven't seen him do diddly in the NFL yet. So, it's definitely true. We just don't know yet. Yeah.
Craig Warlow, man, thank you for the comment. He said Mike Florio, NFL Insider, said today on 93.7, which is the Yinz radio station, that they talked to someone inside the Steelers and said that Howard's a smokescreen and they love Ty Simpson. I heard Mike say that today. Yikes. Listen. I know so if y'all want to know some inside dropped information, they absolutely love Drew Aller too. Mike McCarthy, for you guys that don't know, put Drew Aller through the ringer at the combine. And I heard that he came out of the meeting, he was like, that's a quarterback. So I'm not buying all this Ty Simpson. They're not going at 21 to take Simpson. You can forget it. But this kid right here, Shannon, 6'5", 235 quarterback out of Penn State, Josh Allen type ability, maybe not Josh Allen's ceiling, but he's got elite arm talent. He drives the ball well, regardless of the platform. And he's never, ever, ever played with first-round talent at the wide receiver position. Hell, he never played with first-round talent at the running back position. Yeah. The only guy he ever had was first round was Warren, the tight end. That's the only guy he ever had. It was first round.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility that they look at Aller. But like I said, that's a whole nother show for another day to really go down the quarterback rabbit hole, because I don't think we solve it. We're not. Let me just say this. I know this for a fact, and I think Shannon might agree. We're not going to solve quarterback in 2026. You agree, Shannon?
I mean, it would be an incredible good fortune if Howard exceeded expectations, or they draft Allard and then he's forced into playing for some reason, and then he shows them, that would be one of them happenstance, good fortune things. But the vast likelihood is that the Steelers are still looking for their quarterback next year.
Yeah. And it makes all the sense in the world because we've both been saying this. If you do decide to say, and Driftwood doesn't come back, and you decide to say, okay, we're going to give Howard's going to do one of two things. Either he's going to become the franchise quarterback or he's going to deliver us a franchise quarterback in 2027. And I think most Steelers fans want because we're gonna suck. Let's be clear. Steeler Lee for the $4.99. He said, I loved Will Howard as much as the Yinzis do. They would be begging Driftwood to come back. That's correct. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, thank you, Steeler Lee 910. The deal is that Driftwood gives us the best chance to win, Shannon, whether we like it or not. What they've assembled in the Pittsburgh Steelers, our best chance to win games in 2026 is Driftwood, Shannon. Our best chance to win games.
But you know how I feel about that. I mean, winning 6 games or winning 11 games, if you lose in the first round and you're not really a contender, it makes no difference. All it does is make you have a later draft pick.
That's right.
I mean, I want to see the Steelers focus. If anything changes at all with this coaching staff, with the Khan and the new front office, if anything changes, I want to see the focus get back on being true championship contenders and not it just got to where it was an obsession with the non-losing season streak and we got to put the best product we can on the field. To me, it's still a quality product if it's a lot of young guys developing together that have potential and you see their ceiling could be a championship.
Yeah, facts.
That to me is exciting. I like to see growth. You're going to have the growing pains. You're going to see struggles, but I want to see the growth and the sustained improvement. They're never getting better as the year goes on. They usually peak with like 3 weeks to go, and then they collapse at the end, and they lose in the first round because teams catch up with them and figure out everything, the Band-Aids that Tomlin was using to hold them together.
Right. Yeah, and Craig Wilrow says Driftwood needs to keep drifting on down the river. That's facts, Craig.
Yes.
I get it. But we've identified, and I told you guys months ago, the real villain in this is who, Shannon? Art Rooney, number 2.
Yeah.
Is either because that's the whole reason why we're having these conversations about Aaron Rodgers. He's made it perfectly clear. He doesn't want to rebuild. He wants to run it back. Yeah. So that's why the door is open for Rodgers. Because if it was anybody else, the door would be slammed shut. But for Rodgers,
he's got a get out of jail free card. He's getting a free pass in that everybody's like, well, look at the loyalty and the stability of the organization. Look how long they've had these 3 coaches in 55 years, and they haven't had a losing season, and blah, blah, blah. But, that's the talking points. But no longer is the talking points, we don't want to go to Pittsburgh. You don't want to try to play in Pittsburgh. They're physical. They're intense. They're a championship caliber team. Nobody's scared of the Steelers anymore. Nobody, there ain't players saying, oh, man, if I could only play for the Steelers in my career, I want to play for this great organization. When people talk about teams on the rise and who's going to win championships, Pittsburgh's name don't come up anymore. And that's a problem. That's a problem.
That's for Shannon. We 100% agree. Steeler Lee, man, Shannon, that's never going to happen as long as Rooney's alive. He's the villain. I've been saying it forever. The reason the door is open for Aaron Rodgers is because Art Rooney II. That's why the door is open. If it was any other guy, the door would be slammed shut. The door's open because Rooney still wants him to play. That's why. That's where we're at. And that's the truth, whether you believe it or not. Because anybody else, and Shannon knows it, most true Steeler fans understand and know that door's open because of Rooney. All right? Now, Shannon,
do you think Rodgers wants to play without Tomlin?
Yes.
Just because of because he wasn't too happy with Holmgren. Holmgren. I don't know why I want to call him Holmgren, but he didn't like playing for McCarthy at the end.
That's facts.
So I'm wondering, what changed?
Well, look, it's because they wasted the Kenny Pickett decision. Listen, that was on Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin. Let's be clear. That was on both of those dudes. That was Kevin Colbert's last pick to try to give him a legacy quarterback out the door, and at the same time reaching for a quarterback that we never should have took. And Tomlin, I don't know necessarily equipped him with everything he needed to do because Mike Tomlin was never known as a coach to develop that quarterback. So it was a double-edged sword, and both guys were responsible for it. But the common denominator in that was Art Rooney II. Yeah. That's the common denominator. All right. Shannon, you agree?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's facts. All right, now we're going to shift back to the roster. You said from the beginning that it's best player available. And oh, by the way, super chats are wide open. If you want to get your rant, comment, or up on the screen, make sure you super chat. It's guaranteed to be delivered, right? But Shannon, we said we want to go BPA. We said we want to go BPA, right? I think we got work to do before we can do that. Because we talked about the middle linebacker, you talked about the safety, but the obvious need is the left side of the offensive line. Yes. We, as of today, and I'm telling all you Yinzies right now, Spencer Anderson cannot play left guard. So you can get that out of your mind. Like, totally forget it. There's no way in hell Spencer Anderson can play left guard. He will get destroyed at left guard, right? So now we got a backup that we signed, which I don't think is going to be a bona fide starter. So we don't have a starter, and there's a big mystery at what's going on at left guard. Shannon, I think there's 3 kids that we could possibly take at that left guard position. Vega, Pragon from Oregon, and Rutledge from Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. I think Pragon might be a guy late first, early second. Mm-hmm. I think Rutledge is definitely a second, possibly a third, but Vegas at the top of the list, right? Mm-hmm. Shannon, what do you think the Steelers should do with that left guard position, man?
I agree, first, second round. Now, you said the free agent they signed. Are you talking Driscoll?
Yeah, Driscoll. But Driscoll started some games. Yeah. He started, so let's not act like he's never started. He started some games. But he's not a solution to run him out there for 17 games at guard. There's no way in hell they can do this, Shannon.
He's at best a bridge guy until you get your first draft pick or second round draft pick ready. Mm-hmm. But see, now where we disagree on this, and which we usually agree, but I think Spencer Anderson deserves a chance to go into camp and compete for the position. This is a man that's played all 5 positions in college, and the reason he went in the 6th round is because he'd never been able to settle anywhere because Maryland had a lot of holes on the offensive line, and they needed him, and he was willing to sacrifice his NFL future for the best of the team, which says a lot about his character. I think if he can focus mainly on one position, I think we will see the best of Spencer Anderson. Now, remember his RAS score from the year he was drafted was in the top 5% of every offensive lineman that season.
That's facts.
I believe that he has earned the right by being the jumbo tiny end and filling in when needed on the line to have a chance to compete. Now, do I think he can be the starter? I don't know. I didn't know about Ramon Foster either. An undrafted guy who became a kingpin, a linchpin in that offensive line that was so good for Le'Veon Bell and Big Ben back in the day. So I do think Anderson needs the chance to compete, at least to start out, and maybe as the starter. But you have to address it. I don't see a free agent I'm excited about. So I think you have to address it with one of the 3 young men that you mentioned. Pragon is, I think you might get him in the early second. I don't know if they can get him where they're sitting right now.
No. Well, they could get not in the second round, but Shannon, they could trade backwards.
Yes, exactly. They wanted to move back. They could
go from 21 to maybe 26, 27 if they're still on Pragon.
You can still get the safety out of Oregon. You can still maybe get him. Or you could move up, like we talked about in the second, to get a guy you want, not who falls, and get a guy like Rutledge. Yeah. Again, I think all 3 guys can be an NFL starter. but Vega is hands down the superior player.
Right.
So if I was targeting in a perfect world, and he would somehow fall to 21, it's a no-brainer.
Shannon, listen, not everybody out here in these podcast streets agree with what I'm going to say. That not everybody. It might not even be you, because we've never said this. I've been saying for all along that Vega is a career changer and a career builder for whoever the hell you're going to get to play quarterback in Pittsburgh for 2026 and the future. And let's be clear. If you go next year, Cook, Vega, Frazier, McCormick, and Fautano, that's one of the best young offensive lines in the NFL, period. Let alone the division, let alone everything else. This kid is unbelievable. I'm saying that he's like Dave DeCastro. Some people say no, because they said a guard doesn't move it. I said, look at what a guard did for the Dallas Cowboys offense last year when they drafted Hooker at left guard. Look at how that offensive line looked. When they were at full strength, they was destroying people. Like literally, like Dak had all day to throw the ball, and they could run the ball any kind of way they wanted to run the ball on anybody. So I'm saying that our line would be like that. And so Vega moves the bar. He's the Castro. Now, he's not a cute wide receiver or a quarterback or something like that, but he moves the bar for us, Shannon. He moves the bar.
I think that he has potential to be better than Castro.
Facts.
Here's why. Castro was perfect for that line at that time. The way they, he had the athleticism and all that, but his power did not compare to Vega. Not even close.
Facts.
I'm going to throw a name out that a lot of people that are not old enough to remember. But John Hanna.
Facts.
When I see Vega, I think John Hanna. And John Hanna was the type of guy, kind of like Mike Webster at center. When he got his hands on you, you were done. That play for you was over.
Yeah.
Now, he would take you where he wanted you. And that just opened up everything. It opens up the passing game. It opens up the running game.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. And if you put a good guy, you'd be playing right next to Frazier. And
oh, my God.
You address left tackle. I mean, I ain't saying Cook can't be it, but I'm just saying you have a potential, as you said, to have one of the best lines.
Right.
But he would be the best guard in Pittsburgh since Faneca. Not
Facts.
Yeah.
Better get facts. See, everybody's been saying DeCastro, but I remember Faneca. And I remember how that looked, Shannon.
Yeah.
And dog, that was unstoppable. They were unfreaking stoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable on the inside run game. Unstoppable, right? And so I'm saying he moves the bar. And Shannon, by saying this too, and a lot of folks don't want to hear this. In my opinion, now I might be wrong as hell, but in my opinion, I'm not taking Boston in the first round. I'm not doing it. Because we got two. We got two Bostons. Pittman and DK. They're the same player.
Yeah.
Okay. They're the same guy. All right. Now, we got Tyson's got too many injury issues, Shannon. Too many injury issues. I'm cool.
You know who my second guy is, though?
Well, Omar Cooper. Now, let's be clear. Let's be perfectly clear. If Omar Cooper is there at 21 and you got to choose between Vega and Omar Cooper, that's a hell of a choice, Shannon. That's a hell of a choice, Shannon.
I still take Vega.
Oh, God.
I love Cooper. I love Cooper. But I'm still saying I see for long-term value and what it would mean to Warren and to what's the new running back we just got?
Dowdle. Rico Dowdle.
Yeah. I always say his name wrong, Dowdle. What it would mean to them and whoever the future quarterback is. I mean, Vega would be – but, yeah, I love Cooper. That's why I want him to trade in early in that second round if he falls that far and get him.
Shannon, I don't think Cooper's coming out of the first round.
I'm worried about that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming. But Shannon, the wide receiver depth, right? Now, I seen somebody who put that up there talking about we can still get Cooper, Concepcion, or Branch. Cooper ain't gonna be there in the second round. And guess what came out today about Concepcion?
He had surgery. Yeah,
he's got injuries. He's had surgery already. He's beat up already. He's got injuries. Got injuries concerns going into it. Guess what's going to happen to Concepcion? He's going to drop out the first round. He's not.
I didn't have him in the first.
Right, but I guarantee you now he's gone.
But I thought he was late second, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's gone. There ain't no way in the world. But Shannon, look at that right there. 6 foot 204, exceptional hands. He's got some of the. I am telling you guys, he is Jackson Smith and Juka. The reason you don't know about him because he didn't go to Ohio State wide receiver U, but he runs. If you go and watch the tape, he runs the same routes. He can block like there is no tomorrow. And he's got some of the best contact balance that's out there. That dude is a beast, man. A beast.
And you said it, but here's the thing. I like winners.
Facts.
Now, understand, when I say I like winners, some guys play for suck programs, and they just, it's the way their career goes, and they're loyal, and they stay there. They don't transfer. And so they don't win a lot of games, but they are really good players. They get to the pros, and you see it. They're better pros than they were in college, where they got a better supporting cast. Cooper, you look at that incredible magical season Indiana had, and you go back and look at how many clutch plays that Mendoza and him hooked up on. Now, it's one thing to be a great clutch quarterback like Mendoza, but you got to have a guy who catches it.
You damn right.
You have to have a guy who's tough, who has hands, who runs good routes, is where he's supposed to be, is willing to block, and can take good coaching from a guy who's a hard guy to play for. In my opinion, you're talking about a high character winner and a guy who gives everything on the field, and he will never, and mark my words, be a prima donna, me first knucklehead like the Steelers have dealt with forever at wide receiver. So you got Pittman, who they brought in, who's a quality player but quality person. And now all you got to do is get them two guys to keep DK Metcalf from being a knucklehead sometimes. But hey, listen, if they could get Cooper, I'd be thrilled.
Shannon, if they get Cooper, we cooking with fish grease, Shannon.
Oh, Lord, yes.
With DK, Pittman, and Cooper, and Big Washington, and a Firmoose. Oh my God, with them two running backs, we cooking with fish grease. But Shannon, I mean, I'm excited about Cooper. I'm excited about Vega. Listen, I saw that comment that made sense, Sean R305. Get Vega in the first, trade up in the second if he's available. I just don't think he's going to be there. But Shannon, I believe that there's depth at the wide receiver that we can get in this. Because let me tell you something. I need you guys, Yinzers, to go back and look at the film. Indiana's wide receiver room was elite. They were elite. There was Decker's going to be a first-round pick next year. Signet, the other wide receiver outside of Cooper, is a freaking monster, right? He's not a 4.7, a 4.3 guy, but he's a 4.5 guy, legit. 4.5 guy. And he can catch the ball in traffic, in trouble. And he blocks. So I'm saying that we could get a guy like him, Surratt. We could get a guy like Zachariah Branch. We could get a guy like Montgomery. We could get a guy like the tall, skinny kid from Georgia State. We could get Bell from UConn. We could get Bell from Louisville. There's a lot of wide receivers. We can get Antonio Williams, who nobody's talking about, wide receiver from Clemson. These are guys that's going to be available in that second round, Shannon. So I don't know if that's necessarily a mystery outside of the fact that we know that they're going to take a wide receiver early. First 3 picks of the draft, we know they're going to take a wide receiver, Shannon. Bernard. Go ahead.
I just like, I've not been the biggest Branch fan, but then when they got Pittman, then I started paying attention because you'd like to have that. Because it wasn't going to be CA3 guys. He was not going to develop. We kind of see what he is. He's kind of hit his ceiling. Now, and if he used correctly, it's more as a gadget guy, line him up in the backfield, do different things. He has more value, but the Steelers aren't going to do that. So you get a true slot guy. Now, Pittman can run a lot out of the slot.
Facts.
And he's got the hands and the physicality to do it. But you want that quick guy. That when you need somebody to get open quick. And we know this is Branch's specialty. So, that's another guy. Now, Concepcion, even before I know it was just a cleanup job. But even before that, he was not one of my top targets at wide receiver.
He got character issues, Shannon. He got character issues. Let's be clear.
A lot of those wide receivers have character issues. That's why I like Cooper so much.
Yeah. Concepcion is a partier. All the reports are out there. So it's not no speculation. It's already been said through the combine and all whatever else. We know what's going on with this kid. He likes to kick it, right? And so that's a chance you take about a guy that's being ultra focused on playing the position in the National Football League versus bringing some of that to the table. Tay Boy Fred said, Cooper and Rutledge or Vega and Zachariah Branch? Hell, oh, God. Tay, that's a hard pick, Tay. That's hard. Listen, you're winning either way. Yeah, either way, we rolling. Either way, we rolling with the first and the second and the first and the second. Either way, Shannon.
Yeah.
Either way. Now, Shannon, this is the wild card. And I'm shifting positions. All right. There's still speculation out there that Patrick Queen will be traded. We don't know how. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
They give him the bonus, though.
That's correct. They did pay him. They paid him today or yesterday. They paid him his money.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they're going to keep him. But, Shannon, I think they're going to get a guy to run beside him. I don't see, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see Peyton Wilson by actually being able to take the green dot. I don't see that. Because Queen plays better without carrying a green dot, Shannon. We know that for a fact, right? So I'm not saying Peyton Wilson's a scrub. I'm not saying he's never going to play, but I'm saying that I think we got to go get a bona fide middle linebacker, James Ferrier type, Vince Williams type, bona fide middle linebacker, Kirkland type, in the middle of that damn defense, Shannon. So I think that the wild card is getting somebody to play in the middle. What your thoughts, man?
Well, I will say this. There's never going to be another Levon Kirkland.
Never in life.
Levon Kirkland was 280 before breakfast, but he played usually around 3, guys. Listen, if you ever stood next to him,
big sandwich.
That was a big man. That was a big man. And he did not move. He moved like a middle linebacker, like 4'7", at 300 pounds. This dude was incredible. But now, I do disagree about Peyton Wilson, as you know. I'm much higher on him. I think what has hindered him is 2 things. One, they needed to, whether it's strength and conditioning coaches, whoever, needed to explain to him that it has to be more than just your athleticism and your coverage. Because he struggles to disengage from blocks.
That's facts.
He needs to put on functional strength, and actually some weight as well. Because he's plenty fast. We seen him run down the guy in Ireland against the Vikings. The guy can fly. I think Peyton Wilson, it was terribly underutilized and used incorrectly. It was coached wrong by the previous coaching staff. And again, I have no use for Austin, but I'll leave it there. I think that Pat Graham and the new coaching staff will maximize Peyton Wilson. I believe that. If Queen stays, he does not need to be the green dot. Therein lies the problem. But regardless, they have to address with the draft, I believe. And you've already mentioned a couple of guys in Hill and Rodriguez and Trotter. And we know Trotter's bloodlines. Know him well. His son played at WVU. One thing about him, they're hard-nosed, no nonsense, knock you out. Mama say knock you out. That's their theme song. So
facts.
They need that upgrade to go along with Cole Holcomb for depth and then the eventual starter. So, I'm not against keeping Queen, but I'm also not against trading him if it's the right situation.
Right. I know that they've already paid him, so I doubt if they trade him. It'll be after the draft if they do the post-June 1 cut. Yeah. Right. If they trade him or do whatever else. But he's not a green dot. He's not. Right. But Shannon, this is the what we was talking about, maybe the mystery. The mystery is, and the truth be told, now I know that we had a free agent signing at nose tackle. I know that kid out of Tennessee. He's
Sebastian
yeah. They said, well, he played in a different defense and all whatever else. Let me explain something to y'all. He's a traditional zero technique, one shade technique. Mm-hmm. He just was playing in the wrong screen. He's about 315 pounds. He can hold that nose down. He's swole up. Yeah. But Shannon, he's a rotational player. So he's going to play with Benton and Harmon and Hayward and him and Black. He's going to rotate in that.
But they got to keep Benton out of the middle.
That's correct. But Shannon, we got to get a real nose tackle. I need a 330-pound dude, bro. And there's a gang of them in this draft, Shannon. There's a gang of them. So it's the real mystery.
In the middle round, yeah.
But Shannon, what if a guy, I'm just saying, what if McDonald from Ohio State is sitting there? He's 335 pounds, Shannon. He's 6'3". And we've seen him blow up the middle in all of the film that's out there. Keith McDonald, the nose tackle from Ohio, he literally has blown the brake shoes off of the center and the guard or whoever he played against all the time, Shannon. So do you think that the Steelers just might throw us a mystery and say, okay, we're going to draft him? We're going to draft him in nose.
The draft evaluators I like to follow. I haven't been doing them this year like I have in the past, but the ones I follow to get my rankings, they have him anywhere from 3rd to 4th. Mm-hmm. Now, the Steelers have 3 third-rounders.
Facts.
So my question is for you, would you consider the value, let's say with your last 3rd-round pick, and take a chance that you can still get a Lard in the 4th? Because in my opinion, you're talking about the need, and we know Hayward's getting older, and we know these guys have 1-year contracts. So it isn't like it's a long-term solution, even with Sebastian Day. So my opinion, if McDonald was to somehow fall to that third round selection for the Steelers, and they don't trade it, to move up in a round like we talked about, you might take a chance and try to get a Lar or whoever, Green or Nussmeier, whatever, in the 4th.
Yeah, I wouldn't, Shannon. I don't think McDonald's going to fall that far. Maybe the 2nd at the most. But if he's
a 2nd,
oh yeah, I think he's a late 1st. Really, to be honest, I think he's a late 1st.
But to go that high, he has to be a 3-down player, I think.
But Shannon, that's the thing. At Ohio State, who plays a 3-3-5,
yeah,
3-down lineman, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs. They play a 3-3-5.
Yeah,
right. He never came off the field.
Yeah,
he never came off the field. He played all this until they rotated the new guys in, right? Because Larry Johnson's thing at Ohio State is to rotate fresh defensive linemen. So, but he never freaking catered. And I'm talking about all the way back when it was JTT and Jack Sawyer.
Yeah.
Caden McDonald played that nose tackle position, bro, and held it down.
Yeah.
Right. So he's
love
not
his power and I love his ankle. I mean, he's got all that. So when you say traditional nose tackle for a 3-4, I'm just saying I don't know if he can collapse the pocket to the point that you can leave him on all 3 or 4 downs.
Right.
It's my only thing. That's why, to me, if you're going to be a 2nd round or earlier, that's what you need to be. If not, you fall into the 3rd, and that's why I got him as a 3rd.
Hey, Shannon, look, man. Christine said, could you imagine getting Vega and trading up for McDonald with our 2nd pick? She said she put her Christmas tree up early. Oh, my God. Hey, Christine, I feel you.
Hey,
listen.
Hey, we're from West Virginia. Do you take the Christmas tree down?
Yeah, Shannon, I understand.
Some people keep the lights up on the trailer all year round.
roll with it. So, I get that. But I think that the mystery is that they're going to have to address Now, there's some guys I like, Shannon. Let's be clear. I like Coleon out of University of Cincinnati. He is a beast. 6'4", 6 foot tall, 340. Yeah. You're never going to move him.
It's
never.
Casey Hampton. It's Casey Hampton.
Yeah, where in the hell is he going? He ain't going nowhere, right? And then I like Capehart from Clemson. He about 325, and I think we can get him in the 3rd. So, Shannon, I'm not saying that McDonald's is a pressing need for the Steelers, But if a guy like Capehart or a guy like Coleon is sitting there, you got to take him, Shannon. You got to take him. Got to.
It especially in the situation like we talked about, BPA, it's great value. And because, I mean, there is a large portion of our community in every thread that has been begging for a true nose tackle, more so than me.
Facts.
And I don't want Benton even sniffing nose tackle. I don't want him listed as a backup nose tackle. I want him as a defensive end. Never say nose tackle in the same sentence with Keanu New Benton. So I want a nose tackle, but we have an audience that remembers Casey Hampton. They remember Joel Steed. They remember these guys that make such great contributions to the great Steeler defenses of the past. And that value's there. So as you say, if you can get one of them guys, that's why I'm saying in the third round, I've been thinking all along, you get a Lar or whoever, and with one of them third round picks, but it might be a better value to get a guy like a Corleone or a McDonald or whoever.
Yeah, so Shannon, Tay-Boy Fresh says Lee Hunter. Tate, I'm telling you right now, Lee Hunter going in the first round. Lee Hunter's going in the first, man. He's gone. He's not getting past 32. He's not doing it. He's probably.
Do we consider him a 3-4 nose?
Oh yeah, he's 320. He's 20.
Yeah,
He coming up.
Well, I don't know. I didn't necessarily view him as that anchor guy. When I think nose, I think of run first.
No, Shannon, at Texas Tech, Rodriguez was killing because of Lee Hunter.
Oh, yeah,
Bailey was killing because of Lee Hunter because he took 2 every time.
Yeah.
He took 2 every time. So but he's first round. He gone. He ain't making it past 32. He's not. I'm telling you right now, he gone. He ain't getting up off that board. Adios muchachos, my friend. He gone in the top 32. So I've heard already that the Los Angeles Chargers have fell in love with him. So I wouldn't be shocked at 22 if the LA Chargers take him, Shannon.
Who's the last nose? What I would consider a classic nose to go in the first round. The guy of the Giants, New York, maybe. I can't. I'm trying to think who's the last nose tackle to go in the first round.
So I would say Quentin Williams. What's up, Ars baby dog? Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetie. I'd say Quentin Williams, the guy that the Cowboys traded for.
Yeah, but I think he's a 4-3 defensive tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he plays 3-4 nose, Shannon.
He can. I just say it was kind of like Hargrave, played that position. Williams is better as a 4-3 tackle.
Yeah. I say Quentin.
I think true nose. I think it's the guy for the Giants, and I can't think of his name.
I think Quentin Williams was. I mean, I think the Jets played a 3-4-4-3 scheme. So I think Quentin Williams was the last legit. Yeah, last legit. Yinz Wojo said Jordan Davis.
Dexter
Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence.
There you go.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence. But yeah, Jordan Davis, yeah. But see, Jordan Davis, they play a 4-3 a lot too. They play a 4-3 a lot. So there's 2 nose tackles.
I forgot about Jordan Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2. Now Dexter Lawrence, the Giants is a 3-4. But Quentin Williams is legit 3-4, Shannon. Yeah. And it's not to be played with over there, man. So but that's why I'm saying a guy like Lee Hunter, a guy like our boy from Ohio State, McDonald. Those guys have value in the National Football League because they're traditional nose tackles that don't have to come off the field. Yeah. They can play all 3 downs. That's
the key. Yeah, you have to be able to play all 3. Yeah.
Right. So now, Shannon, we talked about middle linebacker. We identified the guys from the mystery. We talked about nose tackle. We talked about safety. We talked about wide receiver. We talked about the left side of the offensive line. Maybe 1 or 2 more positions. And I want to get your take on which one is more of a need. Do we need another corner to solidify that room? Or Shannon, I'm not so sold on Freiermuth as McCarthy's tight end. I'm not so sold on that, Shannon, because Mike McCarthy, and y'all can look it up, Google me. I'm going to tell you like Kurt Signetti, Google me. he always picks his tight end. Everywhere he's been, he always picks his tight end. So Shannon, is it cornerback depth, or is McCarthy gonna get his tight end, man, in Pittsburgh, man?
I think Freiermuth, thankfully, has not been having the concussion problems that we've seen early in the career that I was really concerned about that could definitely have shortened his career. Now, part of the reason they haven't been using him, so he hasn't been taking as many big hits. I think that Freiermuth is in line to have a really good season. And I think McCarthy kind of, when he decided and he got the position and they've been working through this free agency and everything, I think that when you hear McCarthy talk about Freiermuth, he speaks glowingly of him and how he can be utilized. My problem was his lack of usage Rodgers not wanting to focus on Freiermuth? Because when he did, like in the Cincinnati game, when they come back, he had a big game in the second half and everything. Or was it partly because Tomlin was screaming in his ear all the time, don't go across the middle, ball control, protect the football. You know what I mean? I think that McCarthy won't be. You'll see more turnovers, but you're also going to see more explosive plays. So I mean, I don't see tight end being a huge need, and neither is corner. But Dean's 29, and with good or win, he's got 2-3 really good years left. But you would like to get a corner somewhere here in these earlier first 5 rounds that you can start to develop and give it, because who's the depth now? I mean, Samuel,
Super Hayward gone.
Yeah.
Or you talking about a corner? You talking about corner?
Yeah, Samuel, with his injury history, hopefully he's past that. But we don't know what Kent's going to be. Yeah. Is Eccles back or is he?
Yeah, Eccles is back. So you got the 5 corners is Eccles, Kent, Samuel, Dean, JPJ. And if you throw Jalen Ramsey in there, which I don't think you can, because I think he's going to play free safety, there's 6.
Yeah.
That's the depth right now, Shannon.
But you can utilize him to kind of help in the slot as well. Ramsey, I mean. But that's what I'm saying. If they got the safety from Oregon, Thiemann, if they can get him, there's a guy also that you can use him like a slot corner, I guess, because he's got the incredible speed and athleticism. Yeah. His main problem is dealing with size out of the slot. So, if they go that route, then they might address corner even later.
Yeah. Shannon, there's a couple of corners I really like in the 3rd round. Tacario Davis, the corner out of Washington, and the kid that played opposite corner, which the Steelers have already brought in for the top 30.
That's what I say. He's been brought in.
They've already brought him in. So let me answer Art Baby Doll's question. She said, G, what do you think our chances of drafting Vega? I would say as of today, 65 to 70%. And if we trade up, definitely higher. But there are teams that need inside offensive linemen that draft in front of us. The Detroit Lions, the Baltimore Ravens. I hate the Ratbirds. Oh, Shannon, I can't stand them. I hate the Ratbirds. But there's teams that need an inside lineman. So I don't know for sure. So Shannon, you're going to lean more towards corner than you are towards tight end.
Yes. Right now, I would.
Yeah. Malik Muhammad. Yeah, he can get him late. I like both corners from Washington. I like Malik Muhammad. Definitely later corners. Definitely late. I like Davis just because he's 6'4", 210 pounds.
The avatar.
And he's a freaking avatar. You put him out there on the corner, and he's a lockdown. He just ain't out there just being big. He's a lockdown. So he's more like Woolen, the guy that just went to Philadelphia. He's a big dude playing corner. But Shannon, Darnell Washington is coming off an injury. Jonnu Smith's gone.
Yeah.
Super Hayward's gone.
But Smith give him nothing anyway.
Correct. But really, Shannon, we don't know what Washington's going to do. Muth is supposed to be the guy. And Shannon, everywhere I watch Mike McCarthy, he's always taking a tight end. Now, I'm not saying early.
No, I think he will late. They got freaking 12 picks. which we know they ain't gonna use them all. But you know what I'm saying?
Well,
but yeah, I expected to look at somebody. Yeah,
right. This is why I'm gonna throw you the monkey wrench, Shannon. And this the last topic. I'm gonna throw you a monkey wrench. At 21, Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon is sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw. Because tight ends don't go high. At 21, Kenyon Sadiq is sitting right there. What does McCarthy do? At 20, because Kenyon Sadiq can play. Let's be clear, he's a 4-3 dude that plays tight end.
Yeah,
he's a 4-3-4 40-yard dash. That he's built like Vernon Davis.
And thinking you said it before I could.
He's built like Warren. He's built just like Vernon Davis.
He's 240.
2-4 Shannon got a 38-inch vertical jump.
Yeah.
So at 21, as Kenyon Sadiq is sitting there, we're talking about slot, could play slot, could play tight end, can do it all. Shannon, what do you do, man?
That happens all the time. I was sitting here saying, okay, pass it over to me, baby. I'm getting ready to blow some minds. Vernon Davis. Because that's what kind of athlete he is. Oh, my goodness. That kid is a freak.
Yeah.
And he was really good. He was really effective. It ain't like he just came out of nowhere and tested great. He was really good at Oregon.
Yeah.
He was Moore's favorite target.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're talking PPA. And you would have to literally sit there and see who's available and say, is there somebody that's going to benefit the Steelers and provide better value than Sadiq over the next 5 to 10 years? Woo. It would be hard because those kind of guys like him that were productive and uber athletic from a top Power 5 program, a national contender every year. Oh my gosh, that's a tough one. That is a really tough one. To me, we talked earlier, Vega or Cooper. To me, that might even be a harder decision if it was Vega or Sadiq.
Woo! Shannon, I listen. I know
guys like that only come around every 10 years. Maybe.
That's what I'm trying to say. He is, and listen, his combine workout. Let's just say this: his combine workout was second fiddle to what you see on tape. Kenyon Sadiq is unbelievable. He's unbelievable, and he mashed everybody playing against.
When he was working out, he looked like a running back.
Yes.
See, I had the TV on, and I was watching from the side, and I looked over, and in my mind, watching him work out, I said, "Oh man, that's a real athletic running back." You know, he's a big old boy. And then I remembered who ain't running back, and I seeing who it was. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And then they showed his vertical, and they showed his 40. I'm like, that guy made him some money.
Check this out. Mr. Styles. Kenyon can block.
Yeah.
Kenyon can block. He can block. Let's be clear.
And he's blocked against NFL talent.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct.
He ain't from the MAC, guys. This ain't a MAC guy.
No. This is a once-in-a-lifetime generational tight end. This ain't Kyle Pitts that don't block and want to play wide receiver.
Exactly.
This is a dude that wants his after contact, after he catches the ball, he runs people over. He literally, and he's so fast that if you get him on a one-on-one, I just want to paint a picture for you. All right. We're in 12 personnel, but really with Sadiq, we're in 11 personnel. Right? We move him across the formation. We figure out that they're in man. He's one-on-one with a slot corner. If he catches it clean, he's running that dude over, and ain't nobody going to catch him because he runs a 4-3. He runs a freaking 4-3. He runs a 4-3. Go ahead, Shannon.
Somebody was talking about, so he's another Darnell Washington. No, Mount Washington is almost 6'8", and 300 pounds, and run a 4.5 something or whatever he ran. I mean, he's crazy. He's a freak athlete, yes. But he's stiffer. And guys that are that tall, they look what happened to his lower body because everybody tries to tackle him below the knees. That's not who Sadiq is. If you look at him, like I said, without pants on, he looks like a really muscular fullback. But he's not short.
No.
But he looks it because he's put together.
Yeah.
And he is very athletically, and he moves fluidly, and he can move laterally.
Mm-hmm.
And he can make you miss in the hole. He don't have to truck you. He can make
Facts.
you, and then he'll run away from you. So the two most impressive pure athletes last year, I thought Jenny was incredible in his workouts.
Ashanti Genty, running back. Mm-hmm.
This year, you have to look at Sadiq being one of them guys and Love out of the running back from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Those two guys like Gibbs. Love's kind of like Gibbs.
Yeah.
You don't get that ability, that power, and that speed very often. So those guys up their draft stock.
Listen, the music group said, what if you got music group, man? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you rocking here with us. We've never seen you before. Thank you for this great comment. What do you do if Sadiq, Vega, and Lemon is all sitting there at 21?
I don't want Lemon. I don't want Lemon.
Shannon, we got a hell of a dilemma. What if it's Sadiq?
I don't want Lemon.
What if it's Sadiq, Cooper, and Vega?
That's more of a problem for me. Yes.
No, but that's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Great problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what we're getting at as far as the mystery.
BPA.
The mystery is BPA. And you can get at wide receiver, at tight end, at left guard. There's quality in the second round. There's quality. It's tough, ours, baby doll. I'm just telling you. And that's what Omar Khan out there looking like old Freddie from the damn from Scooby-Doo and the gang and Mystery Machine. That's what Omar Khan has done by adding with this roster to get ready for 2026. Now, like we said, we've already said, look at Omar Khan looking like Fred. That's diabolical, right? So now, like I said, he could take any position. And that's why this is a mystery, right? Yeah. So we know, because Shannon, it's been years that we've been able to pick the best player available at our pick. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been years. Hey, let's still a dog. I feel you, man. Vega, man, that's a hard pass, man. That's a hard pass. If the only way I'm passing on Vega is if I'm absolutely sure I can get Pregon or Rutledge. If I'm absolutely sure I can get Pregon or Rutledge, I'm passing on Vega. If I'm absolutely sure. I'm just going to be honest.
Remember, the key when we're talking about BPA is immediate but also long-term value. And it would be hard to find somebody that would bring more value than Vega. I'm sorry. It would be.
Yeah. Shannon, that like I said, the Steelers streets ain't agreeing with a player.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, Vega's a difference maker.
Yeah.
He's that much of a difference maker. And yes, he plays guard, but he's that much of a difference maker.
But a great guard next to a great center.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you cooking with gas. You cook fish grease. Fish grease, man.
Yeah.
Fish grease. Arch Baby doll said, I want Vega. I seen him play in Happy Valley. He's a beast within a beast. That is facts.
The quickest
total facts.
The quickest trip is straight ahead. Right over him, baby. Don't have to do no tricks, no cutesy, nothing. With them guys, you're just going to run over people.
Well, guess what? And we're going to save this for the Menace to Yinz show, and maybe tomorrow on Keep It at 100 and all whatever else and the other shows we're on.
Yeah.
The issue is this. I think there's some position battles that we'll talk about later on. Left tackle, corner, safety, and Shannon, just maybe running back. Because could you imagine Dowdle running behind Vega?
Oh, yeah.
Automatic. Automatic. Because he's a one-hitter quitter.
Yeah.
Step, go. And so any clearance Vega gives him, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
And if he gets some momentum, he's hard to bring down.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. There's Omar Khan out there cooking, man.
Yeah.
Omar Khan out there cooking, man. Omar's doing his business, man. All right, y'all, we've reached the end of the podcast. I got to get Shannon out of here. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and share. Everywhere you see the KnoItallz Podcast, Menace to Yinz is live every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to have guests from time to time. I can't really talk about it right now. I can just give y'all a little sneak peek. Shannon, I'm going to tell him something that we talked about off air, right? We're just going to tell you Just hold on tight. PYB is coming back. We're going to have a big announcement. We're going to talk about it. It's on the way. But PYB, pump your brakes, with me, Tay-Boy Fresh, and Shannon, the Triple OG, is on the way back. And you're probably going to have to come to the KnoItallz Podcast channel to see the show. But I'm telling you, it's on the way back. It is on the way back. So all you guys that rock with us on Steel Curtain Network, pump your brakes is on the way back. It is on the way back. We're working out the details. It'll be back on this channel. Be looking for it. Tell all your friends. We'll be back over here on the KnoItallz Podcast channel. But Shannon, tell all the people where they can find you moving forward, because I think you got another show tonight, bro.
Yep. Come on over to, like I said, all of our community. We just entertain on both platforms. Come on over to Steel Curtain Network for the Steelers Hangover at 9 o'clock with me and Daniel J. and Brother Tate, and I look forward to talking to you then. And then, of course, Wednesday, we'll have Yinz Still Believe at 8 o'clock with me and Brother Jeremy Betts. So I look forward to talking to everybody and having some more of this great Steeler conversation. And thank you. 2 days. Thank you for having me on. And I love working with you, and I know we're going to do more soon.
Facts.
And congratulations. Now you're not just Big G, you're Big Father-in-Law G, and congratulations.
Facts, Shannon, man. We love you to death, man. Thank you for always supporting, man. Shannon, you guys that don't know, me and Shannon really act like brothers in a lot of ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so
we don't argue.
No, we don't. We really sort of get along. But when I say we support each other, our families and all whatever else, we both have been through some stuff together. As we met each other through the podcast channel, and we become brothers.
Yeah.
So, to be around Shannon sometimes just makes me feel up with all kind of energy. And I love having him around him, man, because Shannon is the dude, y'all. Shannon is my guy. Let's be clear, right? So to have him being able to come back and join us over here on the KnoItallz Podcast channel, we are definitely looking forward to it. All right, y'all, I will be back tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We're keeping it 100. And when I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be diabolical there, and I'm looking for Claude. Because, Claude, I got something else for you, Claude. I'm looking for you. Don't start none. I couldn't believe me and Claude agreed this week, Shannon. I couldn't believe we agreed. I thought that's why the weather's acting crazy. Because me and Claude out there agreeing in them streets. It's unbelievable. But, Claude, I'm looking for you. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be back with Keeping It 100. And tomorrow night, I'll be with the diabolical Big B himself, talking all that yak, telling. I heard what he said today. Talking about Vega ain't no generational. I'm telling you, we're going to be moving furniture around tomorrow night over there on Steelers Almighty, because I got something for him too. So I'll be back, and then I'll be back on Wednesday with Tay-Boy Fresh and our boy Curb with Smash the Gas, man. So be looking for all the KnoItallz Podcast channel information. And like I said, I let the cat out the bag. Just be looking for PYB in the near future, man. Shannon, any final thoughts, man, before we get out of here, man?
No, just pleasure. Thank you, and God bless.
Absolutely, man. For all the Yinz that's out there, we appreciate all you guys. Looking forward to see you tomorrow on Keeping It 100. As for your boy Big G and the Triple OG Shannon White, man, we thank all you guys for rocking with us. We'll see y'all next week and tomorrow on Keeping It 100 and Menace to Yinz. Have a great evening, you guys. Peace.
When we making the fuss.